Hello everyone, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure review for you. This video goes up on Friday, so this is Fantasy Friday. This time I am reviewing a Dungeons & Dragons action figure. This is the Grimsword action figure by NECA. This was available for pre-order in 2022 and it finally arrived in January or February of 2023. So here is the action figure. So I ordered this through an online store, so I don't think it ever hung anywhere in a store, but there's this part here. Here we have a nice front of the package. Nice picture, and it's labeled as an evil action figure. Here is the top of the package. Here is the bottom of the package with credits for who worked on this action figure. Here is one side of the package with the picture of Grimsword. The other side with the name of the character. Here is the back. It shows a picture of Grimsword, a little mini biography. The other action figure available, the War Duke action figure. And on the front we have some Velcro. And it opens up to a nice window box. We have another picture of Grimsword here, and then we can see the action figure and the accessories. So I do like these window boxes so I can inspect it before I buy it. Although a little harder with online purchases, but still I like having the window boxes so I can check it out before I actually open it. So it looks nice. In just a moment I will open this up and review the action figure itself. Here's the Grimsword action figure. I've taken it out of this plastic tray, and the action figure was tied into the plastic tray with some of these little plastic ties to make sure it stayed in the plastic tray here, action figure tray. So I carefully cut that with the pair of scissors, and after taking this out of the box, you know, it has a very strong plastic smell. And now this is a NECA action figure. I've heard that the joints can be weak, so I'm going to use a hair dryer to warm up the joints before I start moving them around, because it's pretty expensive and I don't want to take any chances of breaking it. Although I really don't like having to use a hair dryer. I'd just like to be able to pull the action figure out and start bending the joints right away. But I'm such a big fan of Dungeons & Dragons, especially the novels and the cartoon, that I just had to get this. I'm just going to be extra careful with the action figure to make sure it stays in one piece so I can enjoy it longer. Here is the Grimsword action figure. Let's take a look at how tall this action figure is. Looks like it's about 8 1/4 inches tall, or about 21 centimeters tall. So it's a very large action figure. It's a nicely sized action figure. Now I've been working with the joints on this. I've been heating up the joints to make sure they don't break on me. And there's a lot of pliable plastic parts here on the shoulder here. Is kind of pliable. Also the at the elbows, especially when we're heating this up, the pliable plastic becomes really pliable. There's pliable plastic down here at the knees and on the shins, and the middle part here is pliable, you know, kind of soft rubbery type plastic, but when it gets colder it becomes stiffer and harder. So there's a lot of details on this. So I'm pretty happy with the details that they have on this action figure. Lots of sculpted details on the arm here and the legs here for, I think, chainmail. Lots of snake designs and spikes. So it's made of a pliable plastic, but when it's cold it gets harder and kind of sharp. Lots of details on the back here. So, looks pretty nice. I like the way that it looks. And here we have spikes in the heels and peg holes on the heel of the boots. Nicely painted. Looks like a little bit of silver paint there to show some wear and tear on the armor pieces. Some sort of hook here. And some sort of spikes on the head. So it all looks pretty nice. Let's take a look at the articulation. Okay, we can look up and down, turn side to side, and a little bit of tilting. Well, actually a lot of tilting there. So that's pretty nice. And the shoulders, we can get them out this far. I might be able to go farther if I heat it up some more and work on it some more, but not too bad. So there's some ratcheting in there, so it's kind of tight. I want to be careful here. There we go. There's a little bit of ratcheting in the joints, and then we can go around. So that's pretty good there. This side definitely gets blocked by this shoulder piece here. Otherwise it would probably go all the way around like this side. We have bicep cuts, so that works. And that works. And the elbows do bend, but I think way less than 90 degrees. These were pretty hard to get moving in the first place, so I want to be careful. And there's a little bit of swivel at the elbow joint, so that works a little bit. This works a little bit. And then the wrist will turn, so that's working. So I'm being very careful with the joints here. So they could probably go a little more, but it's being blocked by this plastic elbow armor here. So I can't really get it to bend more than that. And there's a waist cut where we can twist at the waist and maybe wobble around. So the body part here feels like it's a solid piece, so no diaphragm cut or anything there. And at the hips, you can do the splits. That's pretty impressive. And can we kick forward? Yeah, it's just a little bit. It's a bit stiff there. But we can kick forward a little bit, back a little bit, this side. Yeah, it's pretty stiff. I don't want to push too hard on it. I think we can twist at the hip there. I might have to try to heat this up again, because it's getting pretty stiff on me here. And then the knees bend in that much. Not very much at all. And there's a little bit of a swivel at the knee joint, so that's working there. That's working. We can straighten this out. I don't think there's any boot cut. I haven't noticed any, because when I turn it, I'm swiveling at the knee. And at the ankles, I've not been able to get them to move very much. I had to use a hairdryer a lot to get it to move, and even then it's only making the plastic really soft and pliable, and I don't think I'm really moving very much. But there is ankle pivot, so that's working very nicely. But the hinges, I cannot really get them to go up and down, and that's very disappointing because the feet were pointed up while in the package, and I've been working on this foot, and I can get this one down this far, but this side I've been having a very difficult time, and keeps wanting to go back up, and I've heated it many times, so I'm very disappointed about that particular ankle joint. And it makes it hard to stand the action figure. And if I keep pushing, I'm afraid I'm going to break the ankle joint, and I'm probably the weakest part of the action figure, which is too bad because it's really important to be able to move the ankle so that the feet are sticking out straight out so we can keep it balanced. So, can I get it done? Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's standing very well. I think it could topple forward at any time because of that ankle joint here. So, that's a little frustrating, a little disappointing, but it does balance a little bit. Here are the accessories we get with this action figure. We have 3 additional pairs of hands, including the hands that are, well, not including the hands that are already on the action figure. So these hands are still here. So 3 more pairs. So a couple of pointing fingers. And they do have joints, so these joints are working. So right out of the package, and I did not have to warm these up, but these are small enough. I'm hoping that nothing will break. Here's some weapon gripping hands. Now this joint is not working for me here. This one is working. So I might have to heat this one up before I really start bending it. But nice gripping hands, and a pair of fisted hands, nice sculpted details and painting, and the joint on one of them is working, the other one is not working for me yet. And here is a shield. Very nicely designed shield, looks like a snake face on it, and a strap here and a handle. So it has a very strange texture to it. It just feels kind of weird, some kind of rubber plastic, but it will fit onto this arm here, and we can put the strap in the hand, and that'll work. Fits in the hand, so seems like a pretty heavy shield though. And here we have a sword. I'm not sure what kind of sword this is, but looks like a very nicely sculpted sword. It looks like some nice painting there, and feels just a little bit pliable, so we don't want to bend it too much, that would break it. I do like the details on it, and it will fit into the weapon gripping hand here. We can push it on. So that'll work. Looks nice. And then this one is a mace and chain, or maybe a morning star. So it has a chain here. It might actually be a little bits of metal here. The chain might be made out of metal. And here's a spiky ball, pretty sharp. And here's the handle So this is a very impressively sculpted handle here. You can see that there's a little tongue sticking out of the snake's head. So we want to be careful. I'm sure that'll break eventually if we're not careful. But it's nicely sculpted and nicely painted. This will also fit into the weapon gripping hand. So very nice accessories. They certainly look nice, and they seem to be in pretty good shape. So I'm pretty happy with how these look. Here is Grimsword next to a pair of 4-inch action figures. On the right is an adventurer from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago. And on the left is the Fortnite Jonesy action figure by Jazzwares. Here is Grimsword next to a pair of 6-inch action figures. On the right is the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin White Ranger by Hasbro. On the left is the Fortnite Legendary Series Havoc action figure by Jazzwares. Here is Grimsword next to a pair of action figures. On the left is the 7-inch tall Masters of the Universe Masterverse He-Man action figure by Mattel. On the right is the 9-inch tall DC Multiverse Atrocitus Collectibuild action figure by McFarlane Toys. So I'm pretty happy about how big Grimsword is. It makes a great enemy for a barbarian like He-Man to fight against. The HammerTron Sledgehammer rating for this Dungeons & Dragons Grimsword action figure by NECA is not very good. I'm just not happy with it, considering how expensive this was. This was over $30 plus more for sales tax. I expect more for my money. Yeah, it certainly looks cool. Yeah, I like the accessories. The accessories look cool. They put a lot of work into it. Lots of details, painting, sculpting. Yeah, the design looks nice. The action figure itself definitely looks nice, but I need it to actually work. I want the joints to work, and I'm not getting very much motion out of the joints, and what little motion I can get is not very good, and I'm really worried about these ankle joints breaking because I heat them up and I bend them, but I don't know if I'm actually moving the joint or if I'm just bending the plastic. So that's very worrisome. Also, I'm not happy about having to use a hair dryer to warm up all the joints before I even use it. So I knew that coming in, but I still expect it to actually work when I do that. And it's not really working, especially with this ankle joint here. It's just not bending. I'm pretty sure I'm only bending the plastic, and that's only going to last so long before it actually snaps, and I'm just not happy. So, a very disappointing action figure. It looks cool, but it still needs to actually work as an action figure. So, thank you for watching my review video. Please like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about this action figure, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.